So look, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna position this in the right way, the way that it deserves to be positioned, which is these men of the museum that some of y'all have come to know them recently, maybe, but majority, of course, knows these young men to be great men of our nation's capital, but not just our nation's capital, but the chocolate city that we all heard the tales and all the stories. These men are actual, I would say, freedom fighters on the front line all the time when it comes to their city, and not just from one aspect, but from an abundance, an array of different pockets. And that's the point of this platform. DC, a Chocolate City Story, is not just to have conversation about how y'all started, but to really highlight the facts that y'all have done way more than what the naked eye probably has received in Washington, DC. Like, you guys span from the fashion industry, the music industry, the human wellness industry. Like, y'all are in a lot of different pockets. So this is what this is for. So, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the Museum DC.
Hip, hip.
You know what it is. Welcome to the Barnell Hill.
Did you miss me?
Did you miss me? No, but Twin, go ahead and introduce yourself, which I'm sure the Spice Sweet in here. I see you, girl. She's gonna be a guest as well. Get ready for the date. We'll drop that. But Twin, introduce yourself, and let's go back to the Chocolate City, like the 80s. Let's go to the 80s. Let's go back to you and Mo and everybody.
I'd like to introduce somebody right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, there he is. Man. I could have known. There goes that. There goes the handsome face. There it is.
Hey, Martin, knockoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna put him on the spot right now, because as much as Mo always wants to throw a little jab, I'm ready always. That's what you know, buddy. You know I'm ready.
Rome in a cup. Versace wallpaper? Hey, they paying good over there, huh?
Listen. We're not here for that. Let's stay on course, all right? What we are here for is to highlight you guys, all jokes aside, because you guys are dear friends of mine personally, but I wanted to really, in a serious note, when this DC, a Chocolate City, was sitting on my heart all these years that I've been in DC, doing my role as, ambassador of liquor companies and radio and just all that I bring to the table. You guys are people that I've seen not just transition and capitalize and manage and maintain different pockets within the industry. So that's why I wanted to have this moment, so that you guys could tell your DC, a Chocolate City story. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you guys. So look, I've done fucking. Look, go ahead, yo, take us back, man. Yo, Mo, take us back to Uptown. You growing up as a kid, Twin, Southeast.
Let me go first.
Let's talk. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me get my chair real quick.
Yeah, get comfortable. This is look. Listen, I'm trying to move over, Jay Leno.
Yeah, we redoing the store right now.
We was our wallpaper guy was out there, but it's all good. I got a few minutes for my good man.
That's what I need. I need it. So
you can never be me. You know what I'm saying? All right. So look, I grew up uptown, which is off of 14th Street, 14th and Clifton Street, which is surrounded by a couple different streets. You got Belmont and Chaplin and Fairmont. Pretty much I grew up in sports, Boys and Girls Club from before I could even know. My dad was coaching.
You hoop, right?
Yeah, amongst the best. Yeah, sure. Yep, 100%. So
right.
That was my first love, basketball. I let that carry me throughout the city, so I was able to connect with people on other sides of the city, such as like G and M over Southeast. Basketball allowed you to do those things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to go in different neighborhoods and people would be able to respect you, and you had a pass that created a pass for you, and that was a blessing. So pretty much I grew up uptown. It's fast paced. It's similar to some people would probably call like Harlem. Kind of flashy guys.
But I keep hearing so
talking.
So is that a coincidence that a lot of being from New York, I grew up knowing that Harlem was considered uptown? Is that a coincidence, or where's the?
It just happened that way. I don't know, but it's similar though, for sure.
Right.
So flashy, well dressed guys. It comes from that sort of thing or whatever.
Right.
So, played basketball majority. Went to school uptown. Pretty much, my dad coached. Like I said, all my brothers played. You know, a lot of my family played sports, so that was the driving force for me.
Right.
As far as creating like, you know, a name. But like before me, my dad and my brothers and stuff like that, they had already created a legacy, so it was kind of drawn up for me.
Right.
So by the time, you know, I came into 12, 13 years old, making a name for myself, it kind of was already, it was already baked. The cake was already baked.
Right.
All I had to do was pull it out of the oven. You know what I mean?
But you know, but Mo, and I wanna highlight that piece, because that to some might sound like, and I'm putting this in quotes, silver spoon, but cats like y'all put y'all own work in, even though that y'all had the
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. They like
So
it.
what was that driving force in you personally that made it that you ain't just want no handouts and the props because of who your father and uncles and all of those big homies were, but you wanted to make your own?
I had 4 brothers and 1 sister, so I mean, I had to go out and get my own. Like, I watched them make mistakes, and I was able to take from them.
Right.
You know, and kind of drive up my own, you know, thing. And then, like I said, as my brothers and sisters got older, they kind of like scattered out. You know, they was, you know,
Right.
they friends and things of that nature. So I was home still with moms, you know, doing anything.
So
I could possibly.
at one point, at what age would you be?
About 10, it happened for me. It's saying, oh, it's time for me to be my own.
So and during that point, would you say that it was almost like you became, like, you had siblings, but then now you became like an only child for a moment? Is that?
Yeah. I was the only child. Everybody else was kind of out the house already. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I still, and that made my mom focus more on me. So I had to go with the fight of being a boy and wanting to be outside.
Right.
You know, but she couldn't focus on my brothers and them. They was already out the door. You know what I mean? So now I couldn't be slick, like, you know, and do this and do that. She was calling to see where I was at, you know. And we had moved because of, you know, the city had started changing around that time. So we had moved on the other side of the city where I wasn't from, but I was familiar with, you know what I'm saying, which was over on the south side.
Is that where you met G? Like,
I met G because people would, in boys club, people would always pick 2 people who play the same position, who are elite in that position. And they would just put you up against. So I heard about them before I even knew them. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm like, yeah, they keep telling some man, you know, this nigga G could beat me and this and that. So I'm like, okay, who is this nigga? So my team played him, and then, you know, we was cool with that. But then we also used to connect because the skating ring, Crystal Skating Ring, was like this popping thing where you went on Fridays and Saturdays. They had team night or whatever. So, you know, you would know people, like the frontline guys in the neighborhood wasn't always the guys that, you know, was on the front line with pistols or who was, you know, getting a lot of money. It was like the popular guy who dressed, you know, very well, or the guy who played basketball who everybody knew or whatever. Sure. So, you know, in my neighborhood, I could say that, you know, I was one of the up and coming, you know, popular names. If you spoke about that,
one of the guys. I'll say it.
Right. So
was one of them guys.
Yeah. So the same thing went for G on his side of town, and especially where he from. So when you went to the Crystal Skating Ring with your neighborhood, you know, you one of the guys on in the forefront. So when y'all go take the pictures, some niggas be like, oh yeah, that's such and such right there. So you be familiar with that, you know what I'm saying? And then the kitty cabarets and the kitty go-go's, you would hear certain bands put on certain people, and then you would figure out who they was. This before social media, you know what I'm saying? Right. Whoever you predicted
on your name.
Whoever you said you was, you had to be that.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, and during that time, you know, before social media, you had to be somebody. And it was ways that you became popular. Like, one, your uncle and them had all the dope, but was getting all the money.
Got you.
You had a big family, and they loved to fight. Niggas knew you from that.
Right.
You would fly, you know what I'm saying? Or you could fight real well.
Pockets for everybody, right?
Pockets, right? And those were the way. Or you could play basketball. Or you was great in football. Or you had a lot of girls. Or you was getting a lot of money. And that's what people knew you by.
Everybody had an asterisk to them, to their name. Right?
No question. And that is so funny, because it wasn't easy to spread that. So the streets had to spread that for you.
Right.
Your stories was being told through the people. You get what I'm saying?
They were y'all mouthpieces when it came to, you know,
100%.
most Slim from
now
us.
it's different because you can create your own story and sell it to somebody, and then they gonna sell it because they don't know no background check. You get what I'm saying? But see, back in the day, it was way different. You had to be who they said you was. So when they heard certain things about you, like, oh yeah, you know, Slim could play basketball, this and that, this and that. So if they saw you down playing in one of the tournaments over Trinidad or down Southwest or something like that, niggas looking for that name they done heard.
Like,
you know
what, right? So would you
Right.
say, so DC always was a healthy, competitive town, like from back in
It
the
still is. It still is. Yeah.
Right,
It
right.
still is.
I feel
And,
like DC is a strong man time city, like meaning like a real, like you gotta really show you gotta put your money where your mouth is, like
yeah,
on
100%.
everything when
And
it
that
comes
triples always
to
over
how
to the
DC carries it.
penitentiary. Because you can ask people about DC guys in the penitentiary. It's the same thing. They on man time. They gonna see about you, smell that cologne, see what you smelling, for sure. So I mean, like I said, and it's been competitive all around the board, not just with sports, but just in general. Like, you gotta think about it. We have small blocks. There's nowhere else where it's like, okay, you have 14th Street runs a long line, right?
Yeah.
It's probably 50, 60 streets, right? On 14th Street, more than that, right? And you would say, okay, you would have one street, which is Euclid Street, who would have differences with the street that's one block over.
Oh.
Which is
that close.
Yeah, it's that close. Like, it's that competitive that you is beefing with one block. That's one block over from you. And remind you, this block is only a block. It's super neighbor. 2 buildings on the one block.
Dang. So there was
that competitive.
And I'm sure while that kind of friction is going on within your neighborhood, then y'all still got to worry about the south side people or like the outside.
Yeah, when you go to City Place Mall and all that, you go with your men and y'all deep up there and all that. You gotta know who up there and what territory it is. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's always been like that though. From even to this day, you know what I'm saying? It is crazy. It's a crazy thing, but I mean, when you really think about it, it's like that.
It's like that, and I feel like, because I want to keep that, y'all are on a good track. So I feel like you and G, once y'all showed up at the skating rink and what, I feel like y'all realized y'all had so much in common, even though he's a southeast man for Uptown. It's almost, and then that's where the friendship and the business.
Right.
So let's go to that part, like where you guys ventured together, because I'm sure you had a lot of great individual stuff you were doing before me, and vice versa. But when did that fuse? When did the lightning bolt go into the bottle for the two of y'all, from your perspective? Because
see, the luxury of it is it never mattered about the amount of money that we made or any business that we ever did, because the friendship and the bond was there before any money was made, when we was broke together. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what business we endeavor in, or we decide to lose money in, or we make money in, it was already a core.
Right. There's a foundation why you and him are even in conversation on a regular.
So I don't care about that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Family members.
Yeah.
Uncles, cousins, fathers, everybody like this.
Tight.
Yeah, so, and it really clicked for us on the business side. We was in two different worlds. I actually went to, when I got to my second year of college, I had heard about Virginia State, right? So it's a funny story.
Tell the story.
Tell the story. I'm trying to get there, man. Yeah. So, you know, I hadn't talked to G because I went away to JUCO to play basketball in San Diego after my freshman year.
Got you.
So got into some little trouble out there, came back. I was like, I'm just going to go to school. I'm burnt out when it comes to basketball. It's so much of it in life that I could possibly be doing, right? So I was like, all right, cool. So I heard about Virginia State, and me not knowing, you know, I'm like, all right, cool. So I go sign up on my butt, thinking it's one school in Virginia, in Richmond.
But it was in the whole state of Virginia, Mo?
No, just during that area in between Petersburg and Richmond.
Got you.
So I get there on the first day of school. I'm off the surprising him, Joan. Like, yeah, I done came down, go to school. And at this time, I'm on something totally different. I'm 1 foot in the street, and then the other foot is just wherever it go. Whatever.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I get to school, and I'm like, all right, bet. I hit this nigga on that first day. I'm like, yeah, fool, where you at, baby boy? I'm out here. He like, yeah, I'm out here too. I'm like, nah, I'm in front of the cab. He like, fool, I'm in front of the cab. And then he like, nah, I'm right here in front of the cab. And at this time, you know, it was sidekicks. It wasn't no FaceTime or none of that, right? So I'm like, yo, what's the name of the joint you in front of? He like, yeah, I'm in front of Falls Hall. I'm like, yeah, nah, my joint don't read that. I'm probably around the corner on the backside or something.
Right.
So then he like, nah, you somewhere else. So then I found out that I registered for the wrong school.
So where were you?
At Virginia Union.
At VU, but wait,
I'm at Virginia Union, bro.
That's far from state?
25 minutes. dropped the location, right? He dropped the location. He said, Mo, look, find this, John. Put this in your GPS. This where I'm at. So this the first day of school. I get in the whip, go up to his school, and then I saw what everybody ever talked about. And I was saying for 30 days, man. Hey, I was sick, man. You hear me? I said, oh, it's real love. Here, this Chocolate City. It looked like DC. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, word.
Yeah, it was incredible. I never saw nothing like it. And I went to Howard. After I left Virginia.
Wait, you went to Howard?
Yeah, Howard. It wasn't Virginia State. It wasn't Virginia
But
State.
look. Is it safe to say maybe because you're used to, you know how sometimes it's more enticing because you don't have to deal with it on the regular?
Nah, it just wasn't. It was a different
Don't nobody
love.
never want to admit that either.
It was a different love.
Hey, you a Morgan guy.
I'm a Morgan man.
We bleed the same blue and orange.
Blue and orange.
Right. So
Right.
like I said, that John had took us to school, and we was down school, and we was in two different worlds. You know, G was always business oriented. Me, I'm like, where the cash at?
Right.
Yeah, straight up.
Trying to get
and then it was so close to home, so even if I wanted to keep my head on right and be at school and love school, when I went home in the weekend, my man and them, they was busting that iron and shit like that. So I was seeing two different worlds. Like kids at school who had like a real plan and wanting to do something. So I was balancing between two different worlds, you know what I mean? And then like after school, like I said, G was still, man, this nigga was just determined to be great, like, and start his own business and not work for nobody. And me, I'm like, yeah, I'm self-employed too, but I'm just self-employed the other way.
The other way, right.
So then he painted this picture for me one time, you know, when he was up in New York. And he came home one weekend, and I don't know why we was drinking this shit, man. But
what you was drinking? What you was drinking?
Liquor, right?
It's story time.
And he was like, yo, I'm about to quit my job. And he was making like 90 bands up in New York. And I'm like, shit, boy, you crazy. Don't do that. He like, nah, I'm just not about to work for nobody else, bro. I'm sitting there watching my ideas being passed along and people moving up, and I'm still in the same spot because I'm young and people are intimidated by me and my potential. Wow. So, you know, I'm still outside. So I'm like, yo, man, you gonna be all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Da-da-da. And that nigga said, fuck no, I ain't going back. And I was like, huh? So I saw for somebody to take that type of risk and say, I'm leaving a $90,000 job to come back and do my own thing. I was like, this nigga must got a vicious plan, and this probably my way out to give me some little cheese. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck with him. So he drew up this thing, and at this time, I had never seen a marketing deck, right? Just being honest. The nigga drew up a marketing deck, and I was like, oh shit, it's so detailed. And it was numbers, and it was estimates, and projections.
Like all,
I was like, oh yeah. So then I said to myself, like, man, I'm gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he trying to do, I'm gonna rock with that. Right. And that's when the business came. We had our ups and downs in businesses because, you know, he believed in certain things, and I'm just like, nah, bro, them niggas is corny. Let's not do that, you know. But you find a way. You know what I'm saying?
Find a way.
Like I said, but if you got the brothership and the connection before the business ain't never gonna break you.
Never.
It's never gonna break you.
Never.
I'm talking. I've been broke. Like when we first got on tour, Wale, nigga, we was in the room. It was like, man, probably 6 of us.
Let's go there.
One joint, bro. I'm like, G, all that joint. I gotta go handle something real quick.
No, but Mo, we appreciate your time.
I'll be back, bro. I'll be back.
He just going to handle some business.
All right, good. I like that. So now he just threw you the oop.
Yeah, but shout out to Frank Cook on the ones and twos. One of the best nigga storytellers in the business. He locked in on here. Flexxa, you've been amazing.
Oh man, who's that?
Amazing, and you look real handsome. You look like somebody familiar.
Oh man, thank you. Hey, listen. Move over, Jay Leno.
Hey, nah, for real, man. But like Paul was saying, you know, our bond can never be broken because we family before anything. You know what I'm saying? Like blood couldn't make us any more family than we are. And you know, like he said early on, you know, we wasn't like dead broke, but we weren't rich either. Right. And we took a lot of sacrifices. Like we first got on tour with Wale, we paid our own way.
So we're at BOA point right now because I like it because
so that was my plan that I showed Mo.
That the plan that you showed Mo with all the numbers, that was Board of Administration.
Yeah, exactly.
And was your first project Wale or that was like the
first project was Trey at UCB.
Trey UCB. Where Trey at, man? Trey up in there.
So we actually was trying to manage. We was managing Trey for a while. You know what I'm saying? Him as an individual, as an artist.
Right.
And you know, we tried to become like this A&R group or lifestyle group. You know, we did some work for Phil Day on his first project.
Shout out to
you know, Dre. Shout out to Dre. You know, he gave us an opportunity there. You know, we worked on that. We actually helped put together his release event that was at Commonwealth. So at the time, I had Sparkling Nouveau, was consulting for them.
That was on
the brand ambassador situation.
All of this is happening at the same time, right?
This is the same time, you know. And so when I got that position to be the brand ambassador for Sparkling Nouveau, I sponsored Phil's event. I had it was two girls. It was Sydney Lauren and one other girl.
So you were wearing two major hats at the same time and were infusing the two, because you had the event, you was into the event stuff, and then also you got the brand expense. So you were rocking, and you had the relationships. Okay,
definitely, it was a crazy time, you know. But you know, when I had the plan, I presented it to Mo because I understood very early what people are doing right now. You know, financial freedom, you know, owning your intellectual property and things of that nature. You know, I even to this day, we started this store because, you know, we basically got robbed by some brands. You know what I mean? You know, we would put on for certain brands. We've done consulting for Adidas. We've done consulting for Under Armour. And a lot of our ideas, they really didn't take heed to them until sometime later. And then we would see these projects come out.
And it looked kind of familiar.
Yeah, like identical. And we like, hold up. You didn't do this while we was consulting, but you did it after.
Wow.
Once our contract was over. You know, so we like, well, since they won't let us in the door, we'll make our own door.
Right? And that mindset, man, and that mindset.
Yeah, we have to do it that way, you know. You know, whether it's we wanted to design sneakers, we'll come out with our own sneakers.
Y'all do your own.
Yeah, because a lot of companies they wouldn't let us in the door. It's like, okay, cool.
You think it was a real intimate, like that you guys are coming with so much knowledge, so much ideas, and what do you think? What do you attribute that to?
I feel like this. I feel like, of course, for some positions that we tried to work for companies, we were overqualified.
Wow.
Even though on paper we probably weren't qualified at all. But cultural currency is something serious, right? And that's what we have. We have influence in cultural currency, and companies pay big money for that, right?
Yes.
You know, I think that, you know, in light of who we are in a lot of the situations we were put in, I tend to think that most of the people that we were trying to get jobs from weren't better than us at their job. And they were in fear that if they hired us, that we would supersede any expectations that they had at that job.
You know what's beautiful in that, twin?
Yeah.
Because you should be flattered. That's a flattery moment. Like, wow, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Right? So keep going.
For sure. And so, like I said, you know, the Wale years were really good, right? And I'm just backtracking a little bit, right? Because I got off a little bit, but the Wale times were really, really good. You know, shout out to Frank Cook again, because you know he's one of those guys, and I might need to set that up for you to do.
That's what this is for.
You know what I mean? Like, real talk, man. A genius, you know, and he was a part of that whole ambition situation that we had with Wale. He was a part of that team, and we was in that
great run, by the way. Great.
Oh man, that was some good times, and he had a vision as well. You know, he believed in the vision that we had. You know, and I truly believe that our foresight leads to people's insight.
Ooh.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Frank, myself, Mo, you know, Trey, everybody, Tone P, you know, we had foresight. We already saw us having a Grammy or being invited to the Grammys. So what we did was Frank printed up this picture of a Grammy.
Right.
And our idea was, me and Frank, we went to go print it out and everything and framed it. And our idea was that, of course, you know how people always say, you know, whatever position you want, you have to dress for it. You have to be that, right?
Absolutely.
We were just putting out so much positive energy. The energy was so dope. We actually put a Grammy on the top of the studio desk, right?
And a real one?
No, not a real one. It was a picture of one.
Picture still.
And we framed it
okay.
for the record.
For the record.
We didn't even have Miguel on the record yet.
So this is pre-Miguel.
Yeah. We didn't even have him on the record yet, right? We just believed in that record, right? Frank wrote it on the paper. We framed it. We ended up getting nominated for a Grammy for that record, bro.
Oh, my
it's
God.
Crazy. Crazy. The law of attraction.
Ooh.
Listen,
whatever
energy you put out, you're going to receive back from the universe. Flat out. Give me one of those claps again.
I'm gonna give you another one because I mean you ain't trying to.
Yeah, I'm preaching. I'm in my bag right now. Listen, millennials, youngins, I hope y'all listening, man.
Please.
Because see, this is the thing, and this is a true testament of who we are, right? We literally have been, and it's been a frustrating road because we're always too early with things.
So
you understand what I'm saying?
We're talking almost a good problem.
Like even right now, a lot of the labels that's out right now are using a formula that we created. Don't get it twisted. I saw when it was like DJ Drama and a bunch of other people, they were talking on a documentary. And I think he was a little mistaken when he said that Wiz was like the first on the digital wave. It was Wale. We broke file sharing companies. Z-Share, we crashed them. Life and Times, Sean Carter, crashed it. Elliot Wilson's website, crashed it. Karen Silk crashed it. We were the first to crash a website by putting out our music. Nobody else. Nobody before us. You feel what I'm saying? It was a formula that we invented for what's going on right now. It's just that nobody was getting paid off streams back then because it wasn't none. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's amazing to see where everything has gone now. And it's like this untold story of us. Wall Street Journal did a write-up a long time ago.
Talk about it. That's what this is for. Talk about it.
You know what I mean? And like, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, it's kind of frustrating because a lot of stuff that people are doing now, we were just super early. And so it gets frustrating when you have to do it all over again. Like you have to do the same thing over again and people are saying this person did it first. And we sitting back like.
But Twin, you know what? You know what's the silver lining in that moment where you have I got to do this again. You have you're advanced with the knowledge and you're able to. All right, well, we could skip that. Yeah, you remember when we went through that for 6 months?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could apply what you have now to even doing it again, almost.
You're right. And so this is the thing. Think about this. The concept that we had for the museum. No one really had that concept. Like I'll tell you. Like,
and what's the concept? What's the concept for those that might know?
All right, so I'll tell you this. I knew where retail was going to go before it went there. It's crashing now. It's been crashing. Neiman's and Bergdorf and all of these a lot of domestic department stores and things of that nature. They're closing, right? Because nobody wants that shopping experience. Because it's not an experience.
No, it's just
people don't want to shop there. It's not about the clothes. That's what people don't understand. It's about the engagement. It's about the vibe, the energy, the lifestyle. That's why we as African Americans, most time, we want to go shop at Tyson's and go to Gucci and all that, right? Go to Louis because they're gonna hand us champagne when we walk in.
We'll feel very, you know what I'm saying? Like
it's an entirely different look.
Yeah, you're right.
We don't want to come in and get a bottle of water. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? In our store, when you come in, it's not a store. It's a gallery.
What's the difference?
We have a signature wall when you walk in. Any way you felt before you walk through that door, you're gonna forget that energy as soon as you walk in because you're gonna see these vibrant colors, right? You're gonna see the signature wall where you see other like-minded individuals that signed that wall. There, John Hancock is on that wall. People have to trust you and genuinely have a certain love and drop the wall down to put their John Hancock on the wall. You understand what I'm saying? They have to be
100% like vulnerable, like for that moment, right? Shout out to Quinn in here. I see Quinn cooking. Mike, I need to holler at him.
And you're right, Frank. It's super organic. Right? And that's the experience that we're giving people. You know, it's that mom and pop feel.
Yeah.
Right? but it's also art infused. So when you're coming in, some of our art director has probably the most intense or biggest cause collection in the area. You know what I mean? Like we were on art years ago. Now it's a whole art wave. You understand what I'm saying? Like even the way we get sneakers now is like it's whack.
Like yeah.
Every time I go onto these sites and I'm trying to get cool sneaks, I wear my sneakers. I don't resell them. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in DC around all fly niggas where it was like, nah, sure, I hooped in my sneakers. I wore them out.
Like brand new joints that other people are rocking to
brand
the club.
New joints. Ain't none of that reselling. You buy them to rock them. You feel what I'm saying? Like we buy them to rock them. But this is the thing. It's like, even the way the sneaker culture, the way we buying sneakers and shit now. You mean to tell me I have to get notified, right? On an app first.
Walk me through it.
For a pair of sneakers that are $100, right?
Okay.
I have to get notified for these joints, right? And then I have to be put in a lottery. I'm not a lottery type of nigga.
I hear that.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want my kicks because I can afford to buy them. Why do I have to buy them from a reseller? You understand what I'm saying? They're making it too difficult. They're taking away the experience.
Yes.
And it's getting corny. It's making me just want to like not even do that shit. And in a minute, cool niggas ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make our own shoe. That's what it's coming to.
That's what it's gonna making your own.
That's what it's coming to. That's been our whole MO. You know, I had it's about 4 years ago. I applied for a job with a liquor brand, right?
Okay.
Stellar presentation. I mean, fucking stellar, right? So I had the Snapchat whatchamacallit for the Snapchat. The filter. I had a Snapchat filter.
Yeah.
With my face with the sombrero on, so of course you know it was a tequila, right?
I hear you.
Right?
Yeah.
And I came with this whole campaign, and I said, if you all tune to your phones right now and go to Snapchat, they went. They saw the filter. They was like, oh my god.
Wow.
That's where I lost it. Because guess what they said to me? Why do you want this job? They're like, in a way they were just saying like, we're not worthy. This position that you're trying to get, you're too big for this position. But don't tell me what's above me.
Ooh.
You understand what I'm saying?
Ooh, yeah.
Don't tell me what's above me. I do this shit for the rec. It ain't about the check. I told them they can hold that. I was doing it for the relationships.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Which is way more valuable in the long run than
y'all can still hire somebody else and give them the money if you have to.
Look at that.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I literally, and I'll tell you, I interned upon graduating college.
So now that's a perfect segue. So let's keep it on track. Perfect. So now, you came up, and now let's go back down. Let's flashback slightly to Virginia State University, G Mogul. Like what's that college time in a nutshell? I know you got stories of stories, but for the purpose of another 20, 25 minutes that we have here, tell me your overall experience at VSU, from the sports to the entertainment to the lifestyle, and then we'll grow from there.
Virginia State was a great time. It really taught me that your network is your net worth. Honestly, because when I first went there, I was a poli-sci major.
Okay, make it.
Did political science for 2 years. Ended up, I heard that sports marketing, they were going to do away with the sports marketing aspect. When you couldn't get a degree in sports marketing, it would be sports management after my graduating year.
Okay, so you was involved in a time of transition.
Exactly. So I ended up switching over because I had started a company called Complete Athlete with my dad.
So this is your first official company, Complete Athlete.
Complete Athlete Consultant, CAC, for sure.
Right.
And I started that with him because, of course, I was vertically challenged, even though, you know, I was one of the best in the country coming out of high school.
And it was all right. But
at that time, my class, it was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you had so many, like, great players. You had LeBron James, D. Wade, You know what I'm saying? That's that class.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony, that, you understand?
Right.
And so you had your Jared Jacks, Amari Stoudemires, you know, Delonte West, Eddie Baston.
Oh, that's a deep.
It's crazy. Just in this area alone, DC, Maryland, and Virginia was retarded. You know what I'm saying? And so that's 4 years above me and 4 years after.
Right.
Crazy, right? And so we started this because I had something else to give outside of basketball. Like, my house was the house everybody came to. You know what I'm saying? When they wanted.
But by the way, Twin, would you add Prime Objective on that list? G told me about.
Yeah, he was crazy with it, but he's much older.
Much older, okay.
Yeah, yeah, but we from the same side of town.
Got it. So, go ahead. So you were saying?
Yeah, but yeah. So, like, you know, of course, like I said, I was vertically challenged. You know what I'm saying? The league was like, it was so much competition that, of course, it was probably a slim chance that I was going to go to the NBA, right?
Right.
So I ended up going to JUCO at South Plains, which is Lubbock, Texas. This is right before state. That summer, I ended up leaving to come home and play against Muhammad in a 19 and under tournament.
A 19 and under tournament.
It was like a farewell to the seniors.
Got it.
Right? It was me, Jared Jack, Chris McCray, all of us on the same team playing against Mo and Ron T.
Yeah. Morgan State,
Ron was,
right there. Ron T.
So we played against them at Central, and the Virginia State coach was there. Mind you, my best friend, he was on College Hill, Rockstar Rod. He had already committed to Virginia State. I had came home from the JUCO. I was just down there for that summer and was about to go back to do school. Came home to play in that. The Virginia coach saw me, Virginia State, and was like, hey, you should come play for me. Me too, but, you know, and I had never even really heard of Virginia State, to be honest with you.
Right. So you ain't really hear about HBCU. I mean, Howard's down the block.
I knew Howard, you know what I mean?
But you ain't
but that wasn't told to you. When you play AAU and you was playing on the level we was playing, you didn't know about Division II basketball, period. I didn't even know nothing about that. When I went on a visit, I said, oh, man, listen, this is where I'm coming. I'm coming right here. Forget everything else. You know, and like most
decision made.
I was kind of drained with the basketball thing. When you playing your whole life and see, like me and Mo, we didn't play like these kids play now. Like, these kids, they might work out for an hour and then that's it.
So,
right?
You're right.
We hooped all day. We didn't change our clothes.
Oh,
we wore basketball clothes all day.
The commitment level.
All day long. You're going to go from one gym to the next gym. Then you play outside. And then we was hood celebrities. So at the end of the day, we might have to go into another neighborhood. I might be going somewhere with my father. I might got on some Air Force Ones, no socks, khaki shorts. But if we go around Kenilworth, I got to play black on the blacktop out back.
Got you.
It's no way I can't. You feel what I'm saying? It was the same thing with Mo. Wherever we was going, it was like, listen, y'all got to play my youngins. In any neighborhood. You had to earn your stripes. Every time. You had to earn your stripes. That's what it was.
Right.
You know? Look, one next to, yeah.
What's up? They talk, what they saying?
I was talking to BJ. He was saying all day, one hood to the next hood. Yeah, you know, that was DC back then. Like, DC, I'm going to give you a little bit about DC and the top of the city.
City story.
When I grew up in DC, it was the same era Tony Lewis grew up in.
Okay, right. The 80s.
It was really predominantly black. You know, it was a scary city, but it wasn't scary for us. I felt right at home. We didn't know that anything was wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
It was the complete norm of y'all everyday living.
That was just the norm, right? It was the murder capital, consecutive years in the late 80s, early 90s.
Murder capital while being still the crack capital of the country as well, right?
Exactly. And everything, like Mo said, was about affiliation. You know, my family, my great uncles and everything, they threw like some of the biggest parties at the Masonic Temple and things of that nature. You know, boxing was their thing, so they threw fights. They had fighters and stuff like that. You know, even locked up down low, and they was doing the same thing. You know, so a lot of your clout came from your family name.
Got it.
You know, it's your last name or who your uncles were, who your father was.
Legacy.
It's legacy. It's all legacy. You know, and that's what Mo was saying earlier about how now it's this, what do you call it, man?
Like kind of entitled feeling?
Yeah, it is. It is. Real talk. Because people not really earning any respect. They're not earning no respect. You know, I don't think half of the people that they call it fashionistas and stylists, they can't style. They can't dress.
What do you think it is? Do you think because of the fast pacedness of our
culture? It's because now everything's accessible and people could just buy labels and call it fashion. But this is what I believe fashion is. I know that I could put Mo in a thrift store with anybody who they saying is this fly person,
right?
And tell them to start on the even playing field. No designer or nothing. Show me style.
And who cooks up what?
Come out with the best outfits.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And anybody could go to Barney's, Saks. Yeah, give me an off-white shirt and some $50 shoes.
I love it.
Anybody could do that.
Yeah.
You know the uniform I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But show me. See, this is the difference. When we step out, we might have the same jacket somebody got on, right? But you know what they're gonna say? Man, only y'all niggas, man. That's a fly jump. Where you get that from? It's the same Zara coat you got.
But that's the difference with style and because it's who's wearing it and what you bringing, how you bringing it. It's a different vibe.
Hey, listen, a lot of niggas try to rock that haircut you got.
Oh man.
But Flexxa, listen.
Barber Josh Slight though. He might be getting that cut in Baltimore too. Hey, you know what? I could give you something that's like one of the hardest parts of like designing like a collection and line and stuff like that when you start out like with a collection, because niggas don't talk about this, but the shit is so real, right? I think G leaving out real quick. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you one of the hardest jobs it is, right?
Right.
So you got like 5 different type of people. So when you create a line, right, you want to be appealing to all these different type of, people, right? So you got people you got the guy that likes to wear the high end, you got he like Balenciaga, he like Margiela, he like, those type of things. Then you got the basic person, right? Who, man, they logo maybe this big, you got the business professional who only gets dressed on Saturday and Sunday because they work Monday through Friday. But when they do get dressed, they like it simple, but say a little bit.
Right.
Then you got the person with low self-esteem who has to wear super logo heavy so people can see that they are part of a certain type of, right? And then you got the person that they don't do well with fashion. They walk inside the store and whatever's on the mannequin, let me get that because I don't have time to think about what I have to do. So when you create a line, I have to create something. When I go and make a t-shirt or make a sweatsuit with a specific design, I think about all 5 of those people, what medium point I can meet all of them with.
This is perfect. This is like
the hardest thing, And like for some people, you gotta say to yourself, all right, cool. You got different levels of how people shop. So you got some people where it's like, okay, cool. They think because you spent $300 that is like the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Because of what you spent.
Right. So I know some people who like, they typically might wear off-white every week or something like that. They would look at the museum as like, okay, cool. I mean, it's a cool little streetwear brand or whatever like that. And I didn't set out to do our brand to cater to that audience who spend $250 and all that.
You're not.
Like, I don't never want you to come in the museum and have to make a lifetime decision.
Right. Like
never, not once. When you come in here, you got $140. You might got 30, 40. We're gonna work that out. See, because it's so like this way, like the industry meets in the streets.
Oh, what's that?
So in the streets, people, your plug drop it on you, or you go pay for it up front, or whatever. You might get 100 of those things, right? At a decent number. Most niggas gonna wait and they gonna set they price for whoever they gonna serve or whatever, and it's gonna be a crazy number. And so the Simmons, they got them for 17, and they want to be able to. They want to get 20 for each one of their joints, right? Nah, I'm gonna take 18, and I'm gonna get rid of all 100 of my joints.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Then I can go back and see the man.
Mentality, yo.
The $100 that I made off each joint that I sold, I take that and put that back and go back and cop the same amount that I copped before and just keep stacking until I'm able to double whatever I'm able to double with that.
Easy.
See, but most niggas, they go get 100 joints for 17 And man, the street market price right now, niggas paying 21.
They going off of that.
But you sitting on them jumps for that 21.
So it's kind of like in Paid in Full when Kermie went in and Ace with the situation. And he
like, I can move him fast at a low number. So that's the mentality that I have. That's why I never set out to like set the price point so high. Like, and that's why I'm able to have so many different generations of people to wear the museum, because it's affordable for everybody.
Absolutely.
All the way from the baby that wear the 2T
and it's flat
to grandma that's 65. And you gotta think we went down this road of comfortable,
right?
But still respectable. So like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you got the sweatsuit on, but it's a little jazzy. So
I'll tell you this,
I'ma still let him in.
This joint right here, this piece, I wore this at the MGM. I'm talking National Harbor. I had a meeting with Felt before me and G had our Forbes and Highs joint. Went in there for the meeting with this joint. Man, I felt fine. Like, I didn't feel like, and nobody gave me an energy as if, yo, he's in sweats type. You know that feeling, that aura, that. It was all, some people, oh, that joint, like, you saw like, how did that come together? How does that work? But it works right now. You know, it works inside of the MGM. You know what I mean?
And fashion is weird, too. So the thing is, you still dealing with people with a short attention span. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you got that momentum like that, I don't feel like we have a momentum. You could call it that. But when the brand becomes, when it's considered in a relationship with the consumer, they grow with you. You get what I'm saying? So when people come in the shop, they get a certain experience with us of like, dang, I see some young black guys, you know, they talk to me. We return anything as long as it's not worn, bro. You want your cash back, you want cash out, you want it back on the car, however you want it. People not letting you do that. You know what I'm saying? So like we try to like just continue to let people grow with us. You know what I'm saying? And when we started with the brand, I'm gonna give you some history on the brand because a lot of niggas don't know.
Please talk to us.
I just want to give niggas a little bit of advice. When you start out a brand and you come up with these names for your brand, try to think it through. You know, you coming up with this brand, looking sweet clothing. You know what I'm saying? Cool clothing.
Like how it comes up.
Oh, spit it. It's got to be appealing to the person before they see the actual product. You see what I'm saying?
So
the name is everything.
Ooh.
So when I came up with the museum, we sat in and we said, okay, why? We said, what can we create outside of music and religion to put people of all ethnicities in one room with something in common, right?
I never knew this story. Continue, please.
Art and fashion. It has no color. It has none. You know what I'm saying? So you think about the museum. When you say the museum, you don't say, oh, that's a black-owned brand. You don't say, oh, there's some white people that own that. There's some Asian people that own that.
That's the people that come in here is Asian and white, and they always asking, yeah, do you have
art here? Puts people in the same room, no matter where you from, what your likeness is, or any of that. You know what I'm saying? So when we thought about, and it's so broad of a brand, you know what I mean? Like we just started on our home goods. You know, we dropping coasters coming up. We got this two-set pillow that's coming up. And so now it's not like
y'all don't have decor for the home. Y'all gonna move over.
End of the month, bro. Everything. It don't like we got everything. Anything you can think of. Phone cases. We got vase. We got coasters.
Ladies, we coming.
Everything. You know what I mean? So the thing now is just everybody not gonna be locked into the clothing because that just might not be their thing.
Right. Shout out Tate in here.
Still get the promotion because they are taking stuff home with them because they like what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, the clothes might not be their thing, but damn, Mo and them just made that hookah joint. I'm gonna have that for my house and out. So they took a piece of you home with them.
Yes.
Not to just wear when they come back outside, but you always in their house though.
Always, which is gonna be a reminder to shoot.
Always magnets for the refrigerator.
For you to wear all that with museum condoms.
And like I said, we did not invent this.
Got
as
you.
Far as this wheel, no, we didn't reinvent this culture, this athletic apparel. This been going on in the city. It divided the city. It let you know where
I wanted to get DC streetwear.
from.
DC streetwear. So that takes me to that topic. We have about 10 more minutes. So take us there to DC streetwear
the
growing
different
up.
brands separated the city and let you know where somebody was from or where they kind of grew up with or who they was affiliated with. If you wore all days, you was on the northeast side, you know, Benning Road a little bit, 21st over there. You know, and then they sprinkled around like, you know, Langdon and all that, this and that. Southeast, Shooter Sport had Southeast, and they had like that Southeast Maryland, District Heights and all that, Capitol Heights. Hobo had majority of Southeast, a tad bit of that little Northeast. And then they had Maryland on Smash, all that Forestville and Suitland area on 1000.
Right.
Uptown Madness on 1000. We got one had everybody that was at the lower part, the Sursum Quarter Mob and all that, 7th Street and all that.
Got you.
City Life had Minnesota Avenue, 36 in Minnesota, and them guys over there and all that, you know, 49th and those places like that. These Aja Armani had Maryland, Lago, and all these places like the brand separated the city, and it allowed that where somebody was either from, who they was affiliated
before you
with,
even met them or even spoke to them, just by what they
didn't have to know. So the blessing about the museum and what it's done is it's allowed people to be, you know how many people call, be like, yeah, I'm in the airport, man. We in the Dominican Republic. Why is a family got the museum on with us too, man? We walked over, took pictures together.
Bro,
that's what we set out to do.
I'll be at North Carolina A&T Homecoming, which is in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I got on some museum stuff, and it won't even be somebody from DC. That's one thing, right? Like somebody, but it be people from all around the country. Like, oh, yo, that's in DC, right? They automatically put it into the,
and it create a good core love with people that you don't even know.
Right. Yo, that's why let me have this second to tell y'all brand, you just said it best that back in the day in the Chocolate City, it was, you know, by default, just, if you wearing that. It was like a dead giveaway, right? They would say. The museum has managed to unify not just every part of Washington, D.C., but beyond. Because when people come, because D.C. being a heavy, you know, traffic as far as people coming down for the weekend,
right?
They always. That's why I called this chapter the landmark, because people not only want to stop here and here before they leave, they want to stop at the museum to get a piece of food to take it on the road. So y'all have become a part of the culture in a way that I can't even think that y'all would imagine. Like,
it's crazy.
It's
if there's anybody that's listening, it's one thing that me and G, we sit and this only time we sit and we literally just like slapping fives to each other.
Okay.
On one thing. Otherwise, we're never satisfied. That's our biggest part. We go back and forth every day, like about, we could be doing more of this and, you know, whatever. But each year when we had the museum, we coming up on 5 years. Each year that we had the museum,
let me just get out.
Focused on one thing. One thing. The first year, we focused on community. So we reached out to this, we reached out to that, we rock with the kids, and we touched this person and touched that person.
Right.
So actually, the first year, let me tell you what we focused on. We focused on the experience. When you walked in our store, it was black wood floors, hardwood floors, Venetian tile ceiling. It had pillars and things of that nature. And it was like a place to be. So people wanted to have events and they took pictures and all that. Second year, we focused on community.
Right.
Third year, we focused on marketing, right? Fourth year, we focused on product. We got the product where we wanted the product to be. So each year, we took a step and said, okay, cool. This the next cylinder. Okay, now the car looking good because we got the wheels on there. This one working and this one working.
All right, y'all focus on what.
We got that slow leak. We got that slow leak on the front left tire. You know what I'm saying? And we just continue to move forward. And the one thing that took us to the next level, I don't care nothing about no hype beast, no none of that. The streets took us to the next level. The neighborhoods in DC took us to the next level.
Period.
There's some quarters, 7th Street, Langdon Park, Saratoga, 14th Street, 640, MLK, Congress Park, Benning Park. All these places, we went inside and pumped out the trunk and was like, look, there's certain people in this hood that's getting a lot of money and they hood rally behind whoever that front line is.
Right.
So we got the outfits in them to them.
It just
it just said pyong pyong pyong. Because one thing about the streets, man, don't ever forget this. Ain't no drought and ain't no pandemic, chump.
Ain't no drought.
Understand that. Yeah, no bull. The cluckers is out every day. Ain't had nothing to do with no masks, no none of that. So the streets always got money to spend. And understand about black people, we live beyond our means, good or bad.
Right.
We live when everybody else wasn't spending, we still spending. Prime example, you got 10-year-olds with a $700 iPhone. Serious business.
Hey.
You gotta think about that sometimes. So we want our kids to have the best, even if we gotta struggle for the next.
We just want them to be right.
We're gonna do that.
The pandemic, it really didn't hit us like it hit the other people.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we were already used to this.
Yeah, they've been in the pandemic for
Middle
20
America
years.
not used to this. We grew up in the pandemic.
So look, you're right. So look. That takes me because I have 3 more points before. I think we got like 6 minutes. So real quick, with the virtual pop-up shops, phenomenal job that y'all are doing.
Great marketing.
Great marketing. Great marketing, right?
Yeah, man. That was my man Mo. Print Shop Mo.
Shout out to Print Shop Mo.
And Mitch and G, they had everything to do with that. I didn't have anything to do with that.
Right. So
execution went great though.
When's the next one? Because I got a next one, another date.
Yeah, well, this next one this is different. This one's gonna be very different.
Okay. So we'll
very different.
Space to talk more about that.
Yeah.
2 more points. The looting. So you guys were a victim to the unnecessary, the breaking and whatnot.
Yeah.
That you guys put up on social media. How have you guys recovered and what was y'all feelings about that? Like did y'all spirit get a little shook because y'all are
No, hell no. We used like honestly, that's like somebody breaking in my car, fool.
Right.
Like, it ain't no, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like the store's a safe haven. Like in the hoods around this city and the good people around this city, the business professionals, even the congressmen and them type of people, you know that this zone is protected. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
And for somebody to do that, to get what they got, like they probably could have came and just asked for that. We would have gave them that for sure. But it's just
they didn't know what they was doing.
They don't know what they was doing, which is understandable, and I get that. So for us, it was like, okay, cool. Actually, the window is already done. It's
y'all are good. So I just wanted to make sure that.
No, hell no. It's motivation though. It's motivation, and the day that happened, we sat down. We said, "Oh, we about to redo the store." That's how. But it was overwhelming for us because the amount of love that the city showed, though,
right,
and people outside the city,
I felt
unbelievable.
And look at that. It's just reassurance of y'all stake in the community, right?
Me personally, I never got that amount of love in a short amount of time in my life. Period. Oh man,
look how it works.
Calling, texting.
How it works.
It was
unreal, bro.
The NBA, everything they calling. Like, yo, are y'all good?
Right.
Y'all need anything? Like, what's going on?
Look at that. Look at the
real concern.
So
look at God.
We got 50 seconds, and this is the final question. This was amazing, guys. First of all, the New Balance beef between Philly, Baltimore. Is DC the starters of the new?
Of course.
Man, listen.
We got 30 seconds.
They was wearing
580s. Bro, we was wearing 996s, 570 fat asses. All that we've been doing that, man. And see, a lot of cities, they probably was wearing New Balance. They was wearing the 539s with the fat porch monkey sole. Like,
but
y'all got doing this, bro. Don't do that.
Y'all get the first rocket phone pauses. Don't get it twisted.
And Nike boots. Yeah. Niggas calling them Gore Domes.
There you go. So look, only 10 seconds left, fellas. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for joining, man.
And shout out my man Rich right here.
Rich, what up, man?
You gotta do him.
Done.
I'm pregnant.
Love.